Now we're live. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the beginning of Hard 100. Beginnings are always nerve-wracking. It's 5:37 just turned, so I'm going to once again, I don't have a pen near me, but if I did, I would write down what time it is. 5:37. I can just write that. I'll just set a timer on my iPhone for 1 hour from now. And we'll get started. I mean, we've already started. Jesus, this is so intense. So much to say. But I mean, let's just talk about fun stuff. You know, like I don't want to give you any advice or try to be motivational or even trying to. I don't even want to explain what Hard 100 is to you. To be fair, to be honest, I've been thinking about it far too much, and I don't care for your opinion. I don't care for your opinion. In the coming weeks, I'm going to get a lot of, I don't want to say hate, but pushback from those in my life. They're going to say, this is too much. Why do you do it this way? Why don't you do it this way? I doubt you can complete that. And, you know, that's just kind of, it is what it is. There's no good time to do anything. And if you don't let yourself challenge yourself, then I don't know. I said I don't want to talk about it, so I'm not going to talk about it. What I do want to talk about, there's so many things. Well, I haven't slept, right? So we could go pretty off the rails with today's episode because, like most times, I do something exciting in my life. Like the last 2 times I did something exciting, I stopped smoking weed. I definitely was not sleeping because, I mean, that's like a pretty chemical, like definitely screws up your sleep for sure, because I had a pretty big dependency on that stuff. I mean, I don't know. It was exciting. Like the excitement of large change, I think it's the excitement that doesn't allow me to sleep. I stopped masturbating and watching porn, of course. I mean, why would you? I think going forward, I don't have to include porn in the sentiment because, like, I think it's kind of assumed that you're not watching porn if you're not masturbating. So I think I can just kind of boil it down now to I quit masturbating on the 3rd of last month, and I didn't sleep for one night at the very beginning because it was exciting. It was like, I'm making this change. Like, I wonder what I'll be like on the other side. And also, it's like it messes with your routine because normally I would, you know, masturbate, and I've always told myself, like, I saw online once that, like, once you ejaculate, you get like the dopamine release, and then you get lots of serotonin, which sort of gets you ready to go to bed. But that's neither here nor there. What was I talking about? I think I was saying that this could go off the rails because I once again haven't slept. And I haven't slept because of Hard 100, and here we go with the full loop. I don't really feel like talking about Hard 100 on this episode. I kind of just want to talk about, like, things that are exciting to me. Like, I'm going to talk about girls. I'm going to talk about work. I'm going to talk about girls. I'm going to talk about work. And I'm going to talk about probably girls some more. So strap yourself in because this is going to be an hour of me talking about basically all I ever want to talk about to anyone, but don't, because I don't know how to put this. I think in a conversation with a person, the direction that I prefer is too narrow to include things that from my personal, like, life, my personal mind, my personal, like, interests, because while yes, you know, someone may ask you where you work or what you love to do or what's on your mind, no one's really asking you to become their patient and let you see them as a therapist for 1 hour. So so it's like I never really want to even knock on that door of like, let me talk to you all about like what's going on in like my love life, like, and like what I think it means and what I've been through. Because like, yes, I could do my best and sum it up in 3 sentences or like just blurt out whatever I'm thinking. But it's like, once you do that, you're knocking on the door. And like, when you knock on a door, like someone's going to answer and you're going to want to go inside. So I tend to just not knock in the first place. But this is awesome. Keeping it real is awesome because I don't have to knock. I just let myself in. So, hey mom, you're finally keeping it real, long form for your long walks. I hope nothing I say is off mom limits. While I do say hey mom and I love you mom, you should know that that's pretty much the only time that I'm thinking of you throughout the filmings and recordings of these episodes, because this is really just my space, my thing, mine. It's like all me. So you don't get any thought when it comes to, for example, me talking about jacking myself off. Okay, so let's get into it. So I went, all right, downtown Raleigh, Glenwood Avenue. I've been kind of taking myself down there, and I like it. I like that it is a setting in which people go to have fun. I like that it is a setting with a lot of people. At times, it can remind me sort of like Times Square in New York City, i.e. extremely overwhelming. But I don't know. It's like, I don't have a rhyme or a reason. I just kind of been forcing myself downtown. I honestly, like, I have like these walls. I don't want to talk about specific people or like specific things because like I don't like want to know the way it's going to make me feel. You know, there's like, I don't know. I have also haven't slept. So at a certain point, it's probably already happening. My words are just not making sense, and I am sort of devolving into mush man. Here we are on Keeping It Real, and it's me. I kind of just get to freestyle, say whatever I want to say. And that's like, sounds awesome. I think people sometimes have these ideas of things that they think of and they're just like, that's awesome. But if fingers were snapped and those things became reality, I think people would find that the awesomeness is more of like a novelty that comes with the thing, and you just kind of put it on a shelf. The thing is just a thing, and it's like, we as humans always find the middle or the equilibrium or the level, right? It's like if you get a pool in your backyard, it just kind of like, it's cool. And like before you had the pool, you were like, imagine if we had a pool right now. And when you get the pool, you're like, oh my God, we have a pool right now. But then, you know, time always prevails and you find yourself leveled out. It's like, okay, I'm me, and I also have a pool, and that is a fact, and I'm back to level again. That was sort of a bad example because I'm not sure it's extremely relatable. I'm not sure many people just sort of kind of have all of a sudden a pool in their backyard after not having had one. It's like that car you wanted to get so badly, or maybe that relationship you were really like preying on and plotting for, or maybe it's like that grade in that class that you really worked towards, or maybe it's that birthday that you just patiently awaited. It's like all these things are just that, things. So with this knowledge, I mean, what do we do? Like, what comes next? How do we move forward? Do I sound too like preacher-y to you? I feel like I sound like some sort of like weird self-help life coach guy right now. What what do I want to sound like? What do I want these Keeping It Real episodes to look like or sound, or whatever it may be? I like I met a nice girl. Her name was Morgan on one of those websites where it just sort of skips you on FaceTime from person to person to person, called Ome TV. There's also one called Monkey App, and there used to be one called Omegle. If you're familiar with Omegle, then I need say no more. But if you're not, you can imagine a button that once pressed skips whatever person you're on FaceTime with and just brings you to someone else. And it works on the premise of thousands of people constantly on the website at one time. So everyone's webcam is on, everyone's microphone is on, and everyone is just waiting for the next stranger to meet. There's of course, a dark side to that, where men go on there and they have their dicks out, looking for underage girls. But then there's also like a certain beauty to it that is the internet. I mean, it's like, of course this website exists. How could it not? And there's multiple of them, and it's just like this beautiful thing where you press a button and all of a sudden you're speaking to someone somewhere in the world that also pressed the same button. Like, how cool is that? There's no names. It's just a face and a microphone. And I met a nice girl. Her name was Morgan. I can't remember where she was from or anything about her, and I could be wrong with her name. But we spoke for a bit, and she went and she went and saw my YouTube, and she said like, "Oh, this is so awesome. I'm going to listen. I can put these on while I do my makeup." And I was like, "Oh, interesting." So it's like, you have to imagine when people watch the stuff that I do, me as the person that creates it, they're not like as locked in to what I'm doing as I am. Like, when I do this, it's what I'm doing, right? And I put my entirety of my mind towards this while I'm doing it. But my audience that I'm making it for may very well be doing something with the desire to have a video of someone playing in the background for a sense of like hangoutness or just like background noise. And that's like totally cool. I mean, I'm with that 100%. Does it change the way that I think about how I do this at all? No. Does it change? What does it change? I guess the only thing that's different now is that I've heard that and I've thought about it. So there you go. Today is not only my good friend Jose Lozano's birthday, but it is also Super Bowl Sunday. I will be at work at Jersey Mike's during the Super Bowl, and it's going to be a very dead day because obviously it's the Super Bowl. I wonder, like, I don't know. I wonder if anything interesting will happen tomorrow because it's Super Bowl. Anything fun, anything cool. I'll be at work, so we'll see. I had to go in today. Well, I left early from work because it's just an impulse. I'm a big impulse guy. If you know me, you know that I just sort of do whatever. It's not the best. That's why I'm so excited for like Hard 100, because it's going to bring out the routine in me, hypothetically, and that version of myself really just excites myself in the same way that like the version of myself that didn't smoke any pot excited myself. And it's important, I think, for that excitement to exist in a person, because without it, I don't know, yeah, I guess I'm not sure really because it's all, it all gets lost and jumbled in comparison, so I won't even begin. But words are words, and I am me. I really, honestly, think I am so ready to meet a nice girl my age that I can begin to get to know. Um, where can I do that? Well, I'm glad you asked. I have 3 places in mind. Oh, yeah, I guess I would say 3 places in mind. I have, first and foremost, the one that I spend the most time at outside of my home. And let me tell you, home where I am right now, my apartment, is not one of the 3 places that I might meet a nice, pretty young lady. Uh, why, you ask? Because statistically, I haven't even seen one yet. In the kitchen, all I see is my roommates. So, I, that if trends continue, then the outlook is not good for meeting a beautiful girl in the comfort of my own home. Moving on. What did I say the first was? What did I say? Oh, work. Work. That's where I spend the most time outside of where I live. Work. And at work, believe it or not, I think more, I don't know, do I want to say more girls come in than guys to Jersey Mike's? It's pretty dead even 50%. And part of me just feels like more girls come in than guys. But regardless, all girls aren't girls that I think are pretty. Although, I've really been thinking about and working on what I do think is pretty, because to be blunt about it, yes, at a certain point, I will look at someone and it's just like, I don't know. I don't know why it is. I guess girls in particular, when I do look at them, it's always like with this curtain of attraction, and so let's not compare. Let's just say words and see what I say. Of course, I have a type. Everyone has a type, even the people that said they don't. I would like to think that my type is rather general when compared to certain dudes I know, but of course, it's also probably pretty narrow compared to other dudes that I know. It's flattering to think of yourself as someone that has like a large scope of things they find attractive, because it's like, oh yeah, like I'm a little bit over here, a little bit over there, I'm a little bit of everything guy. I know my roommate Sam likes the idea of him being neutral politically, because I think it's nice to imagine yourself as in a group that has a high approval rating, and I believe that a guy that sort of likes all kinds of women, it has like a high approval rating, I guess. But I don't know that I do. And it's hard. It's hard to really say whether or not I do, because when I say I like this person and I don't like this person physically, we're just going off of like physical. When I get, well, let's go one thing at a time. When I look at someone, just purely physical, and whether or not I'm turned on by them, I think like, wow, she is beautiful. I forgot what I was going to say. There's lots of factors in play, and whether I give a yes or a no, say I give a no, is the reason contextually important in this reasoning that I'm currently spewing out? I would say yes, just because I want to say what I'm going to say. And sometimes I'll be like, pretty girls are super fucking scary. And I got to get over it. I really got to get over myself, because they're everywhere. And I can't just keep saying like, I can't just keep saying like, oh my God, she's so pretty, and then not, I don't know, like, and then like just straight up avoiding her. Like it's one thing to say like she's so pretty, and then just like see if maybe there's like a window for you to say something. And it's another thing to say like she's so pretty, and then like intentionally move further away. Or intentionally like stare at the floor or try to blend in with the wall. That is ridiculous. And it's, I say ridiculous, but I find myself doing it so often. And I don't know if it's like me projecting, but I swear I see other guys doing the same thing. It's like when pure beauty presents itself, something within the mind decides it wants to fly, like flight. Which is so backwards that we could evolve into this state of human being, because the consciousness was, I mean, one can only assume, created out of a necessity to reproduce, right? I mean, like the only reason people live is to fuck, and I believe that. I know that that's sort of like, you can kind of get into the weeds with that statement, but for the point of the argument, I just want to say that, your groin is in the most protectable spot in your entire body because I believe it evolved in a sense to be that way. It's like all your limbs sprout from where your crotch is, and everything else is sort of like a cog in the machine that's supposed to support your reproductive organ. The penis is incredibly versatile. You can jack off once, twice every day. You can you can ejaculate once, twice every day. You can ejaculate once a month. I mean, it doesn't matter. Both are healthy. You can, treat your body like absolute garbage, and you're still going to be able to have sex. Like it's crazy. It's, if you really like let yourself focus on it, like we are built to make babies. So it's so funny that like, I guess the mind is to blame, right? Because why am I scared? Why do I see a girl that's 5'8", beautiful, dark hair, pretty eyes, I want to say blue, or brown, and just like the prettiest smile ever. And it's like, oh my God. It's like, dude, it's like your heart drops, and like you can't even. You can't even. It's easier to move through public spaces and see these women when like you do certain things to detach yourself from the reality that you're in. But when you really accept where you are as a person, and that for me is, I'm 21, I am in a really good place. I've made a lot of improvement to myself. I think I'm the most self-aware I've ever been of the position that I'm in and the life that I'm living and the people that are around me. And I want to I want to meet a girl. And like that's the reality of my life. And like with that reality comes extreme nerves. Extreme. And I gotta find a way to just like, I mean, I don't have to find any way. I think where I am and how I think is just like totally cool. It's pretty anticlimactic. I feel like I was building up to some sort of like impossible resolution where I say, I give up. I'm gay. But I'm not gay. I could be gay. I think gay is a choice. That's a hot take probably. I think that being gay is like just totally a choice. Because like I like know for 1,000% fact if I tried to be gay and like I tried it over and over again, eventually I'd just be like, yeah, I'm fucking gay. Because like that's what things are. That's what life is. Like I mean, you can chalk stuff up to happenstance and circumstance, but at the end of the day, you are so in total control of what you do with your body and your muscles and your everything. So I guess there are environmental factors that might push you to do one thing or the other, but at the end of the day, it's like if I was gay, I'd be gay because I chose to be gay. I stand by that sort of thinking. It's like if I am fat and lazy, it's because I consciously am making the decision to be fat and lazy. I worry about getting old because I think this mindset works like so well for such a young person like myself. It's like, I can be here, I can be there, I can be whatever I want to be as long as I want to be it. But every day that goes by, I get closer to dying, simply put. And when the day comes that I only have one day left, I guess I'll still be able to say what I'm saying now. I can be here, I can be there, I can be whatever I want to be. I just have to be it. And then I'll die. Blech. If you are listening to me speak these words right now, and you know me, text me. Text me, hey, you asked me to text you. I'm texting you. It'll put a smile on my face. If you don't know me, I'd like for you to know me. Send me a text. No, I'm not going to just say my phone number, am I? I mean, what's the harm? On the one hand, it's like, do it. Like, life is mistakes. And on the other hand, it's like, but why? Like, why would you do it? These videos get like 30 views, and I assume 5 of each of those views already have my phone number. And the other 25 are probably like, I don't know, half listening. And what percent of that 25 would even take advantage? It's like, no, because I like my phone number. It's got a 777 in it. So if I, inevitably, if I gain a following, when I gain a following, this will exist. And then we're going to delete this episode. And you can bet that because it's a playlist, people will listen to the whole thing chronologically. And all it takes is one person with one, certain status on one website to just sort of be like, hey, found it. So I'm not going to do it. But leave a comment on the episode, because I read them all. I get maybe one comment every 2 days, I'd say. When I'm posting shorts, I get probably about 3 a day. Speaking of shorts, I'm going to post a lot in the coming days onto multiple accounts. And that is because, let's see, why is that? I'm not sure, really. I can't really tell you. But I will be posting them. So stay tuned or don't or whatever. I had an idea for Instagram where, like, I would do a 1 day on, 1 day off, where it's like the on day is like my reel has to just totally please the algorithm. Like all that I'm trying to do, balls to the wall, is get a fuck ton of likes and comments and interactions and reach. And then the other day is just like back to doing whatever I want to do. And I think it'd be cool to do that for this 100 hard as I try to find the intersection for what works for me, as in, like, do I want, how can I find the balance of, like, tons of interaction, lots of attention, likes, follows, big reach, a big platform, and also me. Me. I don't think that's necessary, because in a way it's like, yeah, I don't think that's necessary. I think that's just like sort of an extra step to what is me on Instagram. Love is hard. Love is hard. I had a grown adult tell me once that you'll never love someone like your first love. And I wonder about that. I really do. I think about it, and I don't know. Life is complex. and decisions are decisions, and words are words. I notice things. There are things that I notice that other people might just miss. I'm a cool guy, you know? I really think so. I really think that, like, I'm someone that a girl would want as a boyfriend, or I'm someone that a dude would want as a friend. But then again, it's like, I think that against all the reasons to not think that. I think that because why not? What else am I going to think? What else do I think? I think that conspiracy theories are extremely frustrating. I think that boobs are awesome. I think that I'm super lucky to be talking to this mic right now in front of this camera. You know, like in Raleigh, in an apartment, in a room, with a job. It's like, how have I been able to come to this point where I am right now? It's mind-blowing, really. It is, because it's like, this is all that anyone could ever ask for. Like, how could I ever want anything more? It's amazing, and I'm a lucky dude. When I turn this camera off, I have a lot to do. Today's going to be a long day. I want to talk to you about something. I want to talk to you about what happens internally, mechanically within the brain. I guess it wouldn't be mechanical. It'd be like electrically. When you say you're going to do something. Well, let's not do you and let's not do something. Let's talk about this specific scenario in my life, because it's currently happening and I'm living through it. I'm about to start a challenge called Hard 100. It's 100 days where each day I have a strict routine and I have to complete all these tasks every day, along with not doing certain things. It's just, I've written it all out, and it's very comprehensive, and it's probably not comprehensive enough in some areas, and it's probably far too comprehensive in others, but you can never do anything perfect, and there's never a good time to start. So tomorrow I'm officially starting. Today is the rough launch day. I didn't sleep because I was so excited thinking and writing about it. So we're doing a rough launch day today on Super Bowl Sunday, and then Monday morning I will start my first week of Hard 100. And underneath this list, because I have written it in the Google Doc in which I keep what is my diary, and also I'm coming up on 10 days until my 1-year anniversary of starting this diary. It's pretty freaking amazing. Anyway, I wrote, "It is shocking in all caps, how low I feel at the moment. It is a reminder that the start of new things like these are very exciting," very in all caps. "This excitement can manifest into lots of good feelings and happy states. There is always a drop-off when experiencing happy states and good feelings. Please remember that the entire goal is to push through the emotional turmoil towards the land of consistency and habits." And then probably about an hour later, I wrote a different paragraph, and that said, "Saying you are going to do positive things gives you a rush of happiness." And then in all caps I wrote, "Do not forget that fact." Caps lock off. "Saying you are going to do something good makes you happy, even if those good things are actually hard. Eventually, that boost of happiness will fade away whether you did the task or not. Left in its place will be an empty sadness. When you are empty and you are sad, the only thing that will matter is if you are doing the hard thing or not." This isn't the first time I've done this sort of thing. I have stayed up all night and been like, I'm going to change my life forever tomorrow before. And I have succeeded at times, and other times I have failed. what am I trying to say here? I'm trying to say that through all these times, I've come to observe a phenomenon within myself of the initial hyper reactions to current and upcoming large-scale change. Whoa, write that down. The initial internal reaction to upcoming large-scale change. Is that what I said? I think so. When internally you begin to commit your current and future self to change, let's just say because I don't know if anyone else is going to be able to relate to this. I really noticed that I'm like the only person that does this sort of thing like at this scale. Like other people, yeah, they'll be like, I'm starting a new diet or like I'm going to start going on runs and stuff. But no one else seems to like be like, okay, I'm going to revamp my entire life. But they should, because this is good. I've made improvements to the way that I create the criteria and, commit to these things, because I've done a hard 100 days. In the past, I've done like, I'm going to run this amount of distance for the rest of my life. 10 mile. I mean, I don't know. It's important to set realistic goals. It is. But it's also important to know yourself and what is realistic within yourself, because these goals and what I've written down, someone might read this, especially someone like my roommate, Sam, and he might go like, bullshit, you're not going to be able to complete that. And fuck you, Sam. Watch me, bitch. Why not? See, maybe like it's this is scary, because like there is a part of me that feels the need to explain why I think these goals are good, or there's a part of me that feels the need to get angry at a hypothetical version of Sam saying that he thinks this is too much. And I really think that person, that version of myself, is just scared that he's going to fail. And like maybe one of you is thinking right now, fear is good. If you're a little bit scared, then you're on the right track. It's important to fear, because if you're not scared, then you just didn't set the goalposts right. It's all about that Goldilocks zone, It's like, if my goal was to watch a little bit of YouTube every day, I wouldn't like be scared at all. I would just kind of be like, true, I already do that. So that's a bad example. If my goal was like, I don't know, like smoke a cigarette once a day, I wouldn't be scared. I just like look forward to the cigarette every day. I don't know. Are you getting what I'm saying? Like, it's like being a little bit scared means that you're on the right track, because I know how shitty it's gonna feel. I mean, it's weird because it doesn't like, yeah, I know like the way things will go if I fail this. If I fail this challenge that I'm challenging myself with, it'll be in some way or another sad. It will be lame, dull, boring, empty, lonely. Yeah. So I want to succeed. And I really think that I can. So after this, about so yeah, this is me, and we're coming up on an hour. After this challenge is done, hypothetically, I will have 100 watchable hours of keeping it real, which is pretty cool to say that I'll have. Like, if you want, you can watch me for 100 hours. I know people are always looking for like that one thing that they can put on in the background eternally. And 100 hours might not even be a lot for some people. They might just breeze through it, especially with autoplay. That's just like 24. That's just like 4 or 5 days. If you just leave the computer on for 5 days, you'll be done. But, I was going to do 3 hours, and I think that 3 hours is just a bit too much. Already, look. Already the hardness is kind of setting into me right now, because it's like, it's fun when you press record, and it's fun when you sit down, and it's fun when you say the things you want to say. But then I'm only 45 minutes in, and I have a whole 15 left where I have to talk in the mic and look at the camera. And it's like, I don't really want to do this right now. But I'm going to do it anyway, because this is what I want to do right now. If it's not what I wanted to do, then I wouldn't be doing it. Do you understand? A lot of what I've written into this Hard 100 is inspired by Jersey Mike's. I spend so much of my mental processy on the day-to-day thinking about my efficiency in Jersey Mike's. I clean as efficiently as I can, and of course effectively too. I like to think that I'm a good worker, and I like to think that I keep that place clean. I'm a closer, which means with me the store closes. And when you close a restaurant, the goal is to A, clean everything up, and B, make sure everything is orderly and prepped for the openers of the next day. I'm certainly not perfect, and I'm certainly not the best to ever do it, because there's a lot that I just plain don't know and still haven't taken the initiative to ask about or learn. But the things that I do know, like the dishes, and within these things, there's still things that I don't do perfectly. But, the dishes, the floor, the countertops, these things I know. I know that with every repetition, I move a little bit closer to a version of myself that is both more efficient and effective at doing said task. And that is, I guess, the whole goal. I mean, that's what you work towards. You work towards work. I know that can seem like crazy to say and like daunting to hear, but there is no end point ever. We're all just going to die. So when you do something, do it for the sake of doing it. And that's what I do at Jersey Mike's. I do the things I do for the sake of doing them. So I've kind of taken that mindset to home with Hard 100. And like work, I have a checklist of things that I have to do. Now, I don't utilize this checklist. I kind of just do what I've been taught to do. And when it comes to the checklist, I just sign whatever willy-nilly like it seems others do. But because I was prepping this list, I thought that I would, step up and just make a checklist, because I have one that I acknowledge at work, even though I don't use it how it's intended. It still exists. So the one I've made here outlines what it looks like to close where I live as if it were a job. And, put briefly, I just basically have to clear countertops, wipe countertops, sweep floor, mop floor. I mean, that's about as simple as it gets. And if I do it every time I work, and I make sure the floor is clean and the countertops are wiped and there's no loose objects laying around, and I do it because I do it, and I do it because it's right, then why can't I apply that thinking, that motive, that drive, that, whatever to where I live, So that's what I've done, and that's what I'll do. Tonight, it is a rough mock-up. I start tomorrow, and I will, also, I think I'm gonna, let's say, I want to add one more. I want to track how much water I drink every day. Or actually, exactly how much water should I drink in a day? Calculator. So how much fluid does the average healthy adult living in a temperate climate need? The U.S. National Academics of Science, Engineering, and Medicine determined that adequate daily fluid is about 3.7 liquids for men. Huh? Calculator. Nutrition. India. I don't trust them. University of Florida. I don't trust them either. Camelback. Now Camelback helps you determine your ideal. See, that's a brand name. If I'm anything, I'm American, and boy, do I love my brands. Capitalism rules. So I'm 5'10". People say I'm 6 foot. I'll put 5'11". F it. My weight, I can go weigh myself right now, but for ballpark reasons, I'll say I'm 205. My age, I am 21. What color is your urine? I'd say there. How much do you typically sweat? I'd say there. Yeah. Describe your activity. Oh, shit. I don't know. I thought this was like a daily thing. International Bottled Water Association. Hydration calculator. This is mighty interesting. Tout refuse. Okay. Let's just do DeepSeek. All right. DeepSeek R1, take me away. One more step before you proceed. And what is that? I have 13 minutes left in this episode. So exciting. My first Hard 100 Keeping It Real episode is going live. I had a good old friend stop me in the middle of the street last night and say, bro, have me on the podcast. And I totally will. Bro, if you're listening to this, come on the damn podcast. Just send me a text. Right now, it's just me. It's pretty damn lonely. If you want to be on this show, text me. I do it in the mornings, and I'm going to do it in the morning every day for the next 100 days. Supposedly. I think I will. I think that this challenge is going to be completed by me. So, if you want to be a part of it, bang my line. Bang my line. I can't get these. Verifying? There we go. Okay. I am a 21-year-old male who I'm a 21-year-old male who is 5 foot 10.5 inches, and I'm a 21-year-old male who's 5 foot 10 and a half inches and about 203 pounds. I want to drink exactly the same amount of water every day for the next 100 days. How much water should this amount be? What's it going to say? Okay, so I need to figure out how much 21-year-old male who's 5 foot 10 should drink. First time, okay, it's just going to think. How exciting is this? I love DeepSeek. I love AI. AI is the coolest thing ever. AI is my... Okay, 200 divided by 2.05. What do I have? I mean, do I even have Nalgene's here? Like, how would I even measure this? It gives the number for 203 pounds. That would be about 101.5 ounces. That's roughly 3 liters, since 33.8 per liter. 101.5 is about 3. That seems reasonable. So 1 liter equals, oh, interesting. Next 10 kilograms. Oh, okay. 3 liters. 2-liter Nalgene. One liter Nalgene. Interesting. Oh, interesting. So the answer, it appears, is 3 liters. So I will add that into my Google document. Three liters of water every day. All right, how exciting is that? I've got my water drink is down. Okay, so this was the last. I didn't measure this, but technically, I'm supposed to be awake at up at 8, sleep at 12. I'm gonna ask you what a good time for me to go awake and go to sleep is. This is I shouldn't be on my computer. This is bad. I should be like talking. I shouldn't be like doing things on my computer. I should like I'm essentially working, and I should not be working. I should be talking, chatting. Let's talk about a girl that I met, flirted with. I've met her parents. I went and saw her at her hometown. She's got pretty blue eyes. I don't know much about her, but at the same time, I feel like I do kind of know her. And lately, I've just been thinking about her a lot. And 2 nights ago, I saw her downtown. It was crazy. Can I explain this to you? It was like out of a movie. It was like I wasn't going to go, and then I went, and then I was there at like this one club for like the last 10 minutes from like 1:45 a.m. to 2 a.m. They close at 2 a.m. And it's like I saw the boys, and I was going to go get my one friend a ride home. And I look up, and I look straight, and it's like, bang. I beam her face. She's not looking at me, but there's a perfect gap in the crowd where I see everybody else. And I was like, what the fuck? Sometimes yeah, I went downtown tonight again too. And tonight I sat. Yeah, why didn't I go up to her and just say, hey? I don't know. I should have just said hello. Like, why didn't I just go and say, hey? It's funny seeing you here. Like, I should have just, why did I freeze? I totally froze and stared at the floor and, just hoped that when I finally put my head back up again, she'd be gone. And she was gone. And I was just like, I wonder why it is that, that's what I decided to do with my body and my everything. Anyway. Tonight I went downtown again. Tonight I went downtown again. And tonight, or last night I guess, I existed downtown. And I just sat down there's like this tent in the back of this one club with these like couch things, and I just sat on them. And yeah, I just sat there for like probably an hour or like half an hour. And didn't talk to anybody. One guy came and sat down next to me and it was like talking about all this stuff. He's pretty drunk. Everyone's pretty drunk. I don't drink. And he said, yeah, like what? Like who cares what he said? He was just like blah blah blah. I sat my friends up. I was like dope. And then he was like, "Can I get you a beer?" And I was like, "I don't drink." And he was like, "Can I get you a girl?" And I was like, "Don't do that, please don't do that." And then he got up and was like trying to get a girl to come talk to me, and I was like, "Oh Jesus Christ!" I was literally that guy where it's like, "Hey, my friend over there thinks you're cute," and I am just like sitting there. It was the worst. It was the worst thing ever. It was horrible. It was so horrible. I wanted to get up and leave. But then I was like, why would I stand up and leave because of this? Like, I've done nothing wrong. Like, I was sitting here. He came up to me. Like, God forbid he actually brings a girl over and I talk to her. Like, okay, like, I can do that. But, like, it did not happen. And I never spoke to him again. And he left. But yeah, with the girl with the pretty blue eyes. She makes music, too. I just made an album. Did you know? And it's like I'm split. This is how you know I've been thinking about her, because there's like two separate like avenues of like her in my mind. And it's like, the first is like right, I think literally right before I went downtown and saw her, I literally I got her on my Explore page on Instagram. And it was her singing, and I liked it, and I commented on it, and I was like, this is on my Explore page. She did not like the comment, and I don't blame her. Listen, I don't know anything, you know? I think that she's probably just trying to live her life. Aren't we all? Frankly, I'm trying to live mine, you know what I'm saying? Oh, my dad liked my Instagram reel for yesterday. Let's watch it again. Who cares? Yeah, I don't know. It's funny because I'm starting to develop like a value, and I believe it's like you have like, don't treat others how you want to be treated, be kind, do the right thing. Don't and like a value that's like part of me thinks like maybe I should begin to start pouring cement around is like, don't ever reach out to romantic partner, like potential romantic partners of any capacity from your past. And I think that's like kind of what I did when I liked and commented, you know? Like, why did I do that? And like, how could I do that but then not go say hey to her at the bar, you know? Yeah, I don't know. It's tricky and weird. And I just basically want to understand, you know? But I'm not gonna text her or message her or anything. I shouldn't have liked and commented, but like I saw her on my Explore page. It took me off guard, and then she was singing, you know, and it's like that's so cool. Like I post myself on social media, you know, like I kind of felt like I get it, this is just awesome. But yeah. But then I got like this reality check when I saw her at the bar and I didn't go say hey to her. It's like, what? Like if I didn't, like, so does that mean like, should I even have posted that comment and liked that video? Like, weird. Like, if I can't even go say hey, then like, why do I think I can interact with her online? Like, why, you know, like thinking about, like, I think, yeah. And it's like, huh. And then there's that other side of me, like, I don't know. It's like at the bar, it's like, oh, yeah, And with this one, there's like tons of lore. Like, there's tons of like, I totally like, it's just like up and down. Yeah, I think like, I don't know. It's like when there's a girl in my life, right? I wonder about it. I'm so curious. With this hard 100 thing, I'm going to be putting myself in public places a lot. And I find, so let me get one thing straight. I have no game. None. My game is non-existent. That's not true, but I don't know. It's just like, I thought of it at the club and I thought it was funny, so I'm saying it now. But what I'm saying is like, being 21 and changing how I've changed. All right. Do I keep going or do I? Oh, I'm scared. I'm scared again because now it's like I have to switch tasks and I have to realize that like I'm really in this. I'm really doing this hard 100 thing. That was my timer. It's been 1 hour. Yeah, I gotta clean my room and make my to-do list for today of all the things I have to do. Whew, scary, scary, scary. It's like exciting. I can't hide how exciting it is when I start to think about it. But you have to lunge into action and realize that it's hard. So that's what I'm gonna do. I appreciate you listening. Stay tuned for the next 100 days straight. I love you. Message me. I'm always available. I seriously do love you. Deeply. Peace.